Very good morning to all the participants. Very good morning. We will start in another 2 or 3 minutes because I'm waiting for more participants to join because the quiz is compulsory and I'll first go for natural language processing and then I will give the quiz link. Okay, so a very good morning to everyone and welcome to the last day of the workshop. Hi, Sharma Priya. So welcome to the last day of the workshop and we would be having 3 sessions today. There is a slight change in the schedule. The thing is, I would be taking the natural language processing session in this particular time, and after this, there would be Dr. Basant Agrawal talking about the details of NLP, and then it would be after post lunch only one session by Dr. Santosh Vishwakarma. Because I got some requests from some of the participants saying that uh, I need to wind up a little early because there are certain other commitments to be done on a Saturday. So that is why I have just tried to bind it up by 3 o'clock. So the first session would be by me as of now, and then it would be Dr. Basant Agrawal talking about text classification using CNN. And post lunch, there would be only one session from 1:30 to 3 that would be predictive text analytics. And at 3 o'clock, we would have the closing. And in the closing, basically, I had to take the feedback and the quiz. So feedback has already been done by you people, which you are doing after every session. So quiz, I would be taking it right now. So the closing would be only the closing remarks, and I would be taking your short feedback at the time, just after the end of the session by Dr. Santosh Vishwakarma. Okay, so I am just posting the link for the quiz. Please take up this quiz. I'm again specifying that this quiz, the passing is required in this quiz, because if you don't pass, then you don't get the certificate. So it is very much required that you pass in this quiz. And taking up the quiz is also important, and passing in the quiz is also important. So I have posted the link for the quiz. Please take up the quiz, and then I would start with the natural language processing session. I'm again repeating, there is a slight change in the schedule. That is, the last session would be at 1:30, and we would wind up by 3 o'clock. Option is not mentioned. Okay, got it. Please refresh it so the option would be available now. Please refresh it. You can see the option now. Durga Devi ma'am, any doubt?
No.
Okay, ma'am.
No, ma'am. I have got. I have got.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem, Venkat sir. I'm sharing the link of the quiz. You can just go ahead and attempt the quiz. So I'll give you last 5 minutes for the quiz, and then we will start with the NLP session. You can continue going for the quiz, but I would have to take the session then after 5 minutes. I'll take the entries of the quiz till 5 p.m. today.
Ma'am, will the session be started after the quiz?
Okay, great, Aryan, that you have completed the quiz. So we'll start with today's session, and that is on natural language processing. In fact, the entire day is dedicated to natural language processing. I would be giving you an introduction to natural language processing, and that would be continued by Dr. Basant and Dr. Santosh. So let's start. So as the name suggests, natural language processing is processing of the natural language. What is natural language? Natural language is anything which we speak in our day-to-day life. So the language with which we are born, the language with which our parents speak, the language which our neighbors speak. So that is the thing which we don't have to learn, but that it comes automatically as we are born. So Hindi, like I belong to UP, so Hindi is the natural language for me. English is not natural language for us because we have to think before we speak. In Hindi, we don't have to think before we speak. Every time, whenever you speak English, even though you are so fluent in English or you are very, very expert in English, still there would be some microseconds gone in thinking what you have to speak, and then only you would be able to speak. But in the case of Hindi, it is not so. You don't have to think before you speak. Or if you belong to Odisha or if you belong to Tamil Nadu, then you don't have to think Tamil before you don't have to think speaking before Tamil. So that's the reason that we say that a natural language is something which comes automatically to us. Okay, and as we are born, we learn some language, and that is known as natural. Now, English has considered to be also as the natural language because that also is taught to us when we are just 2 or 3 years old. A for apple, B for ball. We start with that, and the major problem with doing with natural language processing is the data set problem. We don't get enough data to work upon. English is actually is a very widely used language. All the entire world uses it, so we have a lot of data sets available for us. So that is why the researchers and the other fellows keep on doing a research on English and not in any other language. So all those people out here, if you are looking for some research problem to work upon, or you have just started your research career, and you are a researcher, or those who have already done research and you are looking for a new domain, NLP can be a very, very good domain and a very promising domain, because it is actually very useful and it is flourishing it like anything. And most importantly, if you are from any other language apart from English, then you have that extra advantage of doing processing of another language apart from English. So, and most importantly, Hindi has also been researched a lot, but Dravidian languages, Tamil, Telugu, and Uriya, these are still unexplored languages. One of my student is working on Sanskrit. So for Sanskrit also he is not getting enough data. And trust me, Sanskrit is the most important and the most useful language for natural language processing. All the supercomputers are made in Sanskrit because Sanskrit is such a, you can say, very a syntactical language. It has fixed syntax for everything. The chances of ambiguity in Sanskrit is very, very less. So that is why people do opt for Sanskrit in natural language processing. But because of the because we don't have so much of data, then it becomes a little tough to actually do some research on Sanskrit. Similarly, for Marathi, for Kerala, for Telugu and Tamil, also you do face some problem with respect to data set. And so suppose if you're looking for doing research, then in the first year you can just prepare the data set, and you won't believe that the data set paper also gets published in very good journals of Springer and elsewhere. They do prefer having papers which only talk about the data set, and that data set is then freely available to the people. And whenever a data set is used by some other a person, you would get a citation. So your citation is also definitely going to increase if you are writing a paper regarding a data set, and you would be using the data set for your own purpose as well. So it's a very good idea to create a data set. One of my PhD scholars is working on speech processing for Marathi, non-Hindi. Actually, she is looking for non-Hindi students non-Hindi students, and and students which are only till 12 years of age, and then how to understand whatever they want to say with a non-Hindi background or a non-English background. Okay, so they would be having a different dialect, they would be having a different pronunciations. So how can they be accessed? So my research scholar is working on that field, so she created a database of kids up to 12 years, and then she is doing research on that. So I just wanted to specify that if you're looking for a research area, this is a very good area you can work upon. And it is a booming field. All the robotics need NLP. And if you are looking for smart applications, then also it needs NLP. Alexa is one of those examples. So AI is being used in different sectors, deterministic rules, robotics, NLP. And NLP, as I mentioned in the very beginning also, like we have this, it spreads, I don't know why. This is AI, this is ML, and this is deep learning. This is what we have discussed since the very beginning. And I also talked about NLP that day. So this is NLP. This is NLP actually. So let me. So it can stand independent also, and it can use the algorithms of AI, ML, and DL also for solving its problems. Okay. So if it is standing alone, then it means you don't have so much of data on which you can apply ML and deep learning, and you can do the processing of the language of Hindi, English, or any other language. So any spoken language, if you make a robot, then the robot is able to understand what you are saying. That is NLP. Alexa is an example of NLP. Siri is an example of NLP. So all these softwares which are able to understand you is NLP. So these are some of the applications. It is used in machine translations, information retrieval if you want to retrieve the information in your own language, sentiment analysis. Now people have come up with the websites in which you can give Hindi reviews. Now if you are giving Hindi reviews, then you have to develop a software which can understand these Hindi reviews. Okay, so sentiment analysis, how do you understand the sentiments of the people in Hindi, in Marathi, in Tamil, Telugu? Is in itself one research problem. The dream is whatever I say, the robot is able to understand. It is also known as computational linguistics because it is understanding whatever we are saying. So it is also known as computational linguistics. So this we have already discussed. These are some of the examples: IBM, Google, Apple Siri, Google Translate, Yahoo, LA Times. All this are using this. Now we have now discussed that what is an LP, why an LP is important. But if you feel that okay, we can very well process it. Can't we make a rule-based engine and it says that okay, if I want to say going, then that means jana. If I say I can simply have a dictionary, and on the basis of the dictionary, I can I can have a simple dictionary of Hindi to English and English to Hindi, and then I can go for understanding the things and making the robot also work. But in this case, what my concern is, if whatever I'm saying needs to be first translated, and then it also needs to be executed by the machine. So machine should be automatically be able to understand what I want to say and execute it accordingly. Okay, so if I say open the door, so first of all it has to understand what is the meaning of open the door, and then it should open the door for me. Okay. Then secondly, if the machine understands actually zeros and ones, machine only understands zeros and ones. So you must have done compilers. All the computer science engineers and the people from computer science background must know what is compiler. So when I write int I is equal to 10 in any of the language, C, C++, Java, etc., or in Python, I simply write I is equal to 10, then that gets converted into binary. Binary by the compiler. This is done because computer understands only binary language. So this translation of your computer programming language to binary is done by the compiler. Now what I'm saying is, I'm saying that my system should be able to understand what I am saying. Okay. So in this case, suppose if I say open the door, open the door. I say open the door. And the system should be able to convert it to zeros and ones. So this would be done by again a compiler. It would be done by a compiler, and the compiler, the ones which converts the natural language to binary, and such types of compilers convert programming languages to binary. So I would have a Python compiler, compiler, C++ compiler. Similarly, I would have English compiler, Marathi compiler, Telugu compiler, and so on, which converts my natural language sentence to binary. And the second point would be the actual execution. So if it understands what do I mean, that is opening the door, and then it should actually open the door for me. Okay, is this understood? What is the similarity between? So that is why natural language processing is a very nice subject also, and I do take that for as an elective for the final year students and for the MTech students, natural language processing. And it has, if you talk about the technicalities of this subject, then it is very much in sync with the compiler subject, because in compiler also we have syntactic processing, semantic processing, lexical processing. The same types of processing we have in NLP also, lexical processing, syntactic processing, and semantic processing. Because actually, at the end of the day, we are doing the processing of natural language to binary. Okay. And in the same case, is industry demand goes. Yes, Anubhav sir, absolutely right. Industry is approaching to NLP to a great extent, because all the companies right now, all the companies have now coming up with the product based. Generally, most of earlier when I was with the industry with IBM and Computer Science Corporation, all the companies were service oriented. So they were not talking about any products at that time. The products were already built some 15, 20 years back, and they were only providing the services. But with the boom of startups, in which the startups are coming with products, all the big companies have started getting into products. And if you talk about making the life of the people easy, then of course I would be needing NLP. I want everything to be done by my speech. I don't have to code anything. I don't have to write anything. So when I say that I want to on the system with the help of of my speech, you must have very well seen the bulbs and the tube lights. Alexa is getting sync with all these. And Alexa, you just say Alexa, open the light. It will open the light. Now I have all these things. I have a TV which gets opened up and closed up by the Alexa. So I say Alexa, close the TV, open the TV. It's easy. It's making my life easy, isn't it? So nowadays people are getting into product based companies, and the products are the ones which make my life easy. And how will my life will become easy? In which I have to just speak and my things are done. Okay, I see 5 years, not 10 years, 5 years ahead in which I don't have to do anything. I'll say, remote, where are you? And the remote will say, yes, here I am. Because remote goes here and there many number of times. बहुत जल्दी खोता है remote, बहुत ही जल्दी. And especially the TV remote और कार की चाबियां, घर की चाबियां. So मेनी टाइम्स आई फील कि उसमें एक सेंसर होना चाहिए जिसमें आप सिंपली बोले से फोन ढूंढते हैं ना किसी और के फोन से, यू जस्ट रिंग योर फोन एंड यू आर एबल टू फाइंड वेयर इट इज. Similarly, there should be some sensors in the keys also, and very small sensors which should be cheaply available, and you don't have to pay a lot for them, and you just put a sensor onto the keys. और आप सिंपली बोलो मेरी घर की चाबियां किधर हैं, और वो बोले हियर आई एम. फिर वो बोले मेरी मेरी कार की चाबी कहाँ पर है, उसने बोला हियर आई एम. स्पेशली द रिमोट, where is the remote, and the remote says here it is. So this is going to definitely make our lives easy, isn't it? And if it is making a life easy, then definitely the different companies would be looking for making such products, and that is why NLP is in demand. Now it's very an irony, and if you say if whenever I apply for a job, I definitely get a job. Why? Because machine learning and NLP is such a nice combination, and everybody is looking for it. Natural language processing is the demand for all the companies, because they want to get want to have people who can work on NLP. So again, I'm specifying those people who are looking for a research area, NLP can be chosen. But the only thing is that you should be doing something which is out of English, because English is well researched. इतने papers हैं NLP के English के साथ बहुत सारे. So you won't get good domain to work upon, yeah, good problem to work upon. But if you do go on to a different language, you will get huge opportunities. So as I was saying that the stages which you have in a normal compiler, the same stages you have it in the case of NLP compiler. Phonetics, only this is something different because this relates to speech. And in the normal compiler, we have not created anything which relates to speech. We have just going for text analysis. But when we talk about NLP, it can be speech and it can be text. So if it is speech, so I have to get it converted to text also. Text gets converted to speech, or speech gets converted to text. So in such cases, still the voice is breaking. Still the voice is breaking. I would like to have the answer from someone and also, because sometimes it happens. It is
No, ma'am, it's nice. It's good, madam.
okay. Thank you. So we have to do the processing conversions between speech to text and text to speech. So that is why phonetics is there. And then we have morphology, lexical analysis, syntactic analysis, semantic, pragmatics, and discourse. These three topics are exactly the same as we do have it in the compiler, and their job is also the same as we do have it in compiler for programming languages. Yes, the rest of the steps are related to natural language. Let's see phonetics. So phonetics says ki we have bare homophones. Yesterday only I was teaching my kid the homophones. और हिंदी में भी इनको बोलते हैं समान वो श्रुत समान, ऐसा कुछ करके इसका नाम होता है, कि सुनने में एक जैसे लगे. श्रुत समानार्थक नहीं, श्रुत समान शब्द. समानार्थक शब्द होते हैं कि जिनकी मीनिंग सेम हो, but the pronunciations are different. But in this case, the pronunciations are same and the meanings are different. So bear, break. So such types of words definitely create a lot of problems when we go for speech to text. Speech to text. So phonetics is a problem for text to speech and speech to text. If there is a text and I have to convert it to speech, then also I will face problems, but the challenges are more in the vice versa. If we go from speech to text, the challenges are even more. फिर मात्राएं, हिंदी में मात्राएं तो मुझे अभी तक प्रॉब्लम है. अभी तक आई डोंट गेट अ कंप्लीट अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ छोटा ई एंड बड़ा ई. वेरी बिग प्रॉब्लम. ई में तो मुझे हमेशा ही प्रॉब्लम होती है. So it is always a problem. So still I am facing that problem. तो अगर मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम है तो कंप्यूटर को तो डेफिनेटली होगी. फिर वर्ड बाउंड्रीज, आज आएंगे, आज आएंगे, आज आएंगे, will come today. Okay, or aa jayenge will come. So then word boundaries make a huge difference. In English also it is like I got a plate, I got a plate. So today I got a plate for the class. And so when I say I got a plate for the class, so it's very obvious by the listener that I'm talking about that I got late for the class. Okay, but if I say I got a plate for the dinner, then definitely I got a plate for I got a plate for the dinner is that is I'm talking about a plate and not I got late. And disfluency creates a lot of problems because it cannot be processed. ऐसे जो हम लोग कभी भी बोलते हैं और बीच बीच में अटक जाते हैं, we are not able to search for, जैसे अभी हमने बोला we are not able to search for the correct word that we need to use and we say so then also it creates a problem for the processing. I hope I am in page with you all and you are able to understand whatever I am saying. Is there a problem with the network? You're not able to understand what I'm saying? Is it audible and clear? Okay, thank you so much. I was just thinking that whether there is a problem with the network and you're not able to hear properly. Fine, thank you. So morphology says that is because of the tenses and because of gender, we have to sometimes change the word. But the meaning of the word doesn't change. And in fact, the entire concept, there is something which is known as lemma. All those people who, again, are from computer science background know what is lemma. So lemma is ki, what is the internal meaning of a word. Khana, khaiye, khayenge, khao has the same lemma. Okay, like stretch, stretched, stretching, stretches, all have the same lemma. So the lemma of these words are same, but we do make some changes by adding some affixes. Now, what is the meaning of affixes? Affixes can be suffix, prefix, circumfix. So some affixes are added, which makes the word different, but the lemma of the words are same, or the meaning of the words are same. So, like suppose if I say start. So start can be termed as starting, starts, started. All these words. So all these words are same. The only difference lies in the tense or the gender. So in such cases, we say if the words can be formed number of ways, it is known as the language is rich in morphology. Rich in morphology, that is, we have so many forms of the word. Sanskrit is a very, very rich morphological language. But the most important advantage is that the different morphological forms are very specific. They have the specific meaning. There is no ambiguity in such cases. But we have seen some of the ambiguities in the case of phonetics. If there is a word boundary or homophones, such types of words, we are not able to understand. Like suppose if I say, I saw a bear. So when I say I saw a bear, then I am saying I saw a bear. But when the speech is getting converted to text, then the system may write BARE instead of BEAR. So this is a challenge. And the system needs to understand that I'm talking about BEAR and not BARE. Okay, na? Now, if I have a sentence and I want to understand the meaning of that sentence, तो हम बोल रहे हैं आप खाना खाइए, ठीक है ना? खाना खाइए. अब किसी को तो हम खाइए बोल रहे हैं. आप खाना खाओ भी बोल सकते हैं, है ना? आप खाना खाओ भी तो बोल सकते हैं. आप खाना खाओ, खाइए, खाओ. आप खाना खाएंगे, खाएंगे. So all these are related to each other, and if you see, the meaning is also different. वो spelling is quite different. खाली खा same है, बाकी सब कुछ different है. खाइए, खाओ, खाएंगे. So this is a challenge. The system has to understand all the words and all the types of words. In English, it's easy. You add a suffix, friendly, friendlier, friends. So many suffixes are added and have to understand each and every word. Okay. So because of plurals, because of, and nice, now suppose English is actually very tough. English has so many restrictions. Now when I was small, I used to learn Wren and Martin. And if you have seen that book, it's a very thick book, because it contains all those rules and the bifurcations from those rules. Now the rule says if you want to make any noun to be plural, you add a s to it. Cat cats, dog dogs, monkey monkeys, है ना? Tiger tigers. So you add a s to it. But then there would be certain exceptions. Exception says कि for child you don't write childs. I don't know why क्यों ऐसा हो जाता है. We don't write childs. We write children. So this is wrong. So there are so many Is it audible now? Somehow I think I got disconnected. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is audible.
कहाँ तक सुना था सर आप लोगों ने? Book तक सुना था क्या? The book is being used as a verb and a noun.
My presentation is not being displayed.
No, my presentation is fine. Till where did you hear it actually? Did you hear that when I'm talking about a book can be used as a verb and a
Yes,
noun?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you were here. You were able to hear till there. Okay. So probably you were able to hear till here. When I'm saying the part of the speech tagging is a very big problem in natural language processing and lexical analysis, in which one word can be used as different parts of speech. And when it is used as different parts of speech, the meaning of the sentence completely changes. When I say book the flight for me, then the meaning of the word book is being used as in a different sense. And when I say I have a brown color book, then in that case, the meaning of the word book is used in a different sense. So the meaning of the word changes, and accordingly, the meaning of the sentence changes. My output has to be understand the meaning of the sentence, what I want to say, isn't it? So that means I should always strive to understand the meaning of the sentence by understanding the meaning of the different words which are being used. Okay. Can anybody please confirm whether it is audible and visible? Because I just saw a message on WhatsApp saying that it is not audible or visible.
No, no, it is visible and audible.
Okay, thank you so much. So lexical analysis talks about the part of the speech. Now this is an ambiguity. She bagged 2 silver medals, and the silver is being used as an adjective. He made a silver speech. Now this can be an adverb or it can be an adjective, whatever you feel like. If speech is used as a verb, silver would be an adverb. If speech is used as a noun, then silver would be used as an adjective. Again, silver, the speech is also can be taken as a noun or a verb. If it is a verb, then silver is an adverb. If speech is a noun, then silver is an adjective. And if you see his worries had silvered his hair, now this is being used as a verb. The same word can be used as a different forms of speech, different parts of speech, and the meaning of the sentence changes. You would be surprised to know that dog can be used as many as noun, as a verb, as an adjective. So this is a simple way. I mean, if you talk about the probability, in most of the cases, dog is used as a noun. So if you talk about only the sense of probability, then the system will not be able to understand the meaning. So you have to have something extra. Syntactic ambiguity has 2 types of ambiguity, scope and attachment. Now, this is a very standard example, and you would find this example in many books and internet material. The man saw the girl with the telescope. Now, there are so many meanings to this sentence. The man saw the girl and the girl was having the telescope. The man was having the telescope and then he saw the girl. And the professor said on Monday he would give an exam. Such types of memes are coming in WhatsApp also nowadays. And you have so many jokes on WhatsApp related to this, in which you have 2 different meanings of the same word, of the same sentence. The professor said on Monday he would give an exam. Now, exam has to be given by the students and not the professor. Okay, so if this type of sentence is given to us, then it is very obvious that the students are giving the exam and the professor is the one who is going to examine or test the students. But if you talk about the computer who doesn't understand such simple things, then he would say that, okay, it can be both the ways. The professor is giving the exam. Call me a cab. Now, if you say the sentence in a normal ways, so definitely I'm calling a cab for you. But when I say call me a cab, then that means your name is cab. When I say call me Pooja, so definitely my name is Pooja. But when I say call me a cab, then you will not started calling me a cab, but you will call a cab for me. Okay, so old men and women were taken to safe locations. So is it only old men or it is both men and women are old? Okay, so there are so many ambiguities in understanding the meaning of the sentence with respect to lexical, syntactic, and next we have the semantic. The car hit the pole while it was moving. Now the pole was moving or the car was moving? If I am talking about in real sense, then definitely the car was moving. But some days back, I was just seeing Doraemon, and in Doraemon, there was one scene in which the pole was moving actually, and the car hit the pole, and the pole was moving. So if I'm talking about cartoons, it is possible. है ना? So how does the computer know that you are talking about real life or you're talking about cartoon? The car hit the pole while it was moving. It will consider both the ways. Now, this is again a very common example, Anubhav said, which is used in most of the books. I want to go to bank. Now, bank can be a river bank or it can be a financial bank. Okay, so bank is used as two different forms. It is actually a problem of homophones. It is not a problem of semantic or syntactic analysis. It is a problem of morphological analysis. Because or you can say phonetic analysis, because bank is used as a financial bank and a river bank. So I want to go bank can be both the ways. But if I say I want to go bank to withdraw money, then of course the system should be able to understand that since withdrawal of the money is possible only in a financial bank, so it has to be a financial bank. And if I say I want to go to a bank to have a dip in the river, then I am talking about a river bank. Okay, so by the reference to context, we do understand the meaning of the words. Dr. Jitendra talked about LSTM and RNN, isn't it? So that is why I had this session before NLP, so that you can relate this to LSTM, long short-term memory, and recurrent neural network. So when LSTM was being dealt with, he told you very specifically that LSTM is used when we want to have the reference to context. What happened before, what happened afterwards, it has memory, isn't it? So once it has memory, so such types of answers can be very well given, Professor Anubhav. Like, I want to go bank to withdraw money. So I want to go bank is being remembered by LSTM, and for withdrawing money is also there. So you can relate these two and say that, okay, I want to go to a financial bank. And when I say I want to go to bank to have a dip in the river, so again, there would be a memory which would be involved, and it will take care of both the sentences, both the parts of the sentences, and you can identify that I'm talking about a river bank. So LSTM and RNN are the two most important algorithms which are used with natural language processing and GRU. And on the basis of these three algorithms, you have different versions of other algorithms also, which can be used. That BiLSTM is used. And nowadays, transformer-based models are also being used, which is BERT. And there are different versions of BERT which are being used, transformer-based models, because they have even larger memory as compared to LSTM. They can go for the reference to context in a very better manner, in a good manner. So you can definitely understand the meaning of the complete paragraph with the help of the BERT model. Anubhav sir, I have already given the request to Dr. Jitendra. Probably he would give it to you. I would be sharing all the material as and when the experts will give it to me. The soul died. Now the soul can be a shoe part, or it can be a fish. So this we have already discussed. Anaphoric ambiguity is related to the pronoun. That is, this pronoun is associated with what? The horse ran up the hill, so it was very steep. So basically, it is corresponding to hill, and this horse is corresponding to it, because tiring is done with respect to horse, and steep is done with respect to hill. And pragmatic ambiguity actually deals with common sense, and this common sense cannot be programmed. So again, this is an untouched field, and most researchers don't work on this field, pragmatic ambiguity. So this is a very untouched field, and people do need to have a lot of work being done in this field, pragmatic ambiguity. You just go through the sentence, you will get to know what I'm trying to say. Okay. So it also talks about the word sense disambiguation. So coming to the same example, what Professor Anubhav was saying, he rushed to the bank. So we are confused whether it is a financial or a river bank. When he says, John was hot and desperate for a dunk in the river, then definitely I'm talking about river bank. And if I say John suddenly realized he didn't have any cash, I rushed to the bank, we are talking about the financial institution. So these are the standard phases of NLP which are being used: morphological analysis, syntactic analysis, semantic analysis, and pragmatic analysis. Lexicon is nothing but the dictionary, and grammar is a set of rules. Those rules which should be followed, and lexicon is the dictionary. Now these are the different steps which are involved, and each and every step can form one research area. Semantic analysis in Hindi, word sense disambiguation in Marathi, morphological analysis in Sanskrit, like this. So all these are respective research fields, and you can choose any one of them for your research. Now, I'll take you to some hands-on on this. For natural language processing, there is a very beautiful library which is used, that is known as NLTK, Natural Language Toolkit. So it has a lot of things built in. You don't have to worry much about that, like stemming, lemmatization. All these things can be done automatically by just simple commands. So most of your work is done in such cases. So just let me show you a little hands-on on this. Since I don't have much time, I have some 15 minutes or so. So I'm just copy pasting the code on the chat box so that you can try it out. Open Colab and copy paste the code there. I'm giving you 2 minutes of time to try this out, to open Colab and then try this out. This is an import NLTK Natural Language Toolkit, and then I'm downloading this punct library which is used, and it is tokenizing the data. Now, what is the meaning of tokens? Tokens is, if suppose I have a sentence, I am going to the market. If suppose I have this sentence, so this tokenization will actually convert it to different words. I am going to the market. So tokens comprises of all the words, and it also uses all the columns, commas, full stops, and also. So full stop will also be treated as a token. So again, I'm giving you 2 minutes of time to open Colab and execute the first set of sentences which I have given you. Once it is done, please let me know. So there are 3 types of things: sentence tokenization, word tokenization. Two types of things. So sentence tokenization will convert the entire paragraph into sentences, and word tokenization will convert the entire sentence into different words. So I got 3 sentences from here. The first sentence is this, the second is this, and so on. And the word tokenization, I got the words. I can also print the type of W token, so it will say it is a list. Then I have already told you about the for loop and everything. So I can print the list of the words without the comma, full stop, and colon. Because sometimes I don't want these 3 to be there. I just want the words, because tokens are full stops, commas, and semicolons and colons also. So if I don't want all this, I can simply say remove all these letters. Please let me know if you're doing it with me. Please let me know if you have done or you are doing it. I'm still waiting for the reply from you all. You are doing it or you have done it. Please let me know, so that if you're not doing it and you want to do it later, then I can proceed further. Okay, great. And now there are certain stop words which are involved in execution. Like I say, I am going to the market. Now to and the are stop words. So sometimes it says, hey, I need not use these stop words as a part of the processing. So I'll try to remove these stop words. So stop words is a library which is used in Python, and I can install that library by just pip install stop words, and then I would download that. Once it is downloaded, it can be used, and I can remove the stop words from the list. This is the way how you remove the stop words. So I am taking import stop words. Then I am taking a list of those stop words. So I have the list without stop words also and with stop words also, and these are the stop words which were there in the sentence. If a stop word is used as the first word of the sentence, like the, then in that case it will not be considered as a stop word. There shouldn't be any capital letter in the stop word. Capital letter means it is important. So if the is used in the middle, it would be a stop word. If the is used as the first word, it will not be a stop word. So I'm taking all the stop words which are used in English. I'm checking whether any of these stop words is present in this W token list or not. If it is present, then that would be removed. That would be removed. Otherwise, it will be there. This will print all the stop words. So these were the stop words which were there, and this is a final list of words without the stop words, and without the comma, full stop, colon, etc. About is not used, is not a stop word. So the is a stop word, but since it is the first letter of first word of the sentence, so it is not used as a stop word. Please let me know once you have removed the stop words. Still you cannot hear me? Is it audible or not?
Able, ma'am.
Okay. Then there is something which is synonyms and antonyms. I can find out the synonyms and antonyms of the list of words, and it uses some library known as a WordNet. A WordNet is also a very powerful library which contains the dictionary of huge number of words, huge number of words, and it contains a dictionary, and it talks about the lemma. If the lemma is same, if the two words have the same lemma, it is known as a synonym. And if the lemma of two words are opposites, then it is known as antonym. So it will talk about, if I say cap, so cap के synonyms चाहिए मुझे. So cap, caps, hood, ceiling, all these have the same lemma. So that is why it treats all the words with the same lemma as synonyms. You can change the name here as something else. Laptop, mouse. And then we can find the lemma for of the different words as mouse. So computer mouse is also a mouse. Mouse is also a mouse. Pussyfoot, a mouse. Creepy, black eye, shiner. So maybe these are used as the word as mouse. Okay. So these are all the synonyms for mouse. And for cap, you have detonator, cap, hood, ceiling, etc. Similarly, you can go for antonyms. Now, this is a very interesting library known as Translate. It translates your language to some other language. And this is quite interesting. And this would be, in fact, the last part that I would be doing with Natural Language Processing Toolkit. And the rest would be done by Dr. Basant and Dr. Santosh Vishwakarma, in which I'm translating from English to Hindi. English is my source language and Hindi is my destination language. So if I just execute this, it will ask me a sentence in English. I am going to the market. Now it generally doesn't gives you exact answers. देखिए कैसा दे रहा है वो इस पेड़ में हमेशा एक छत्ता होता है. Again, it is not, it is having a very bad accuracy, but sometimes it gives. I am going, मैं सुबह टहलने जाते हैं. Let me give a simpler sentence. You go. Fine. It is not giving good answers to this. I have let me have a simpler sentence. I don't know why it is giving some rubbish. It has used all the translations which were available this time. This is some restrictions which they have just recently added. Earlier it wasn't there. I've never seen such a warning earlier before. Maybe it was being used by so many people that they have started giving such types of restrictions. But you can change the language to different, like suppose if I change English to German, so that is also allowed. Okay, I am not able to do it again, so maybe you can try it out. German is allowed, French is allowed, so you can do the translation from one language to another. And here you can choose any language, from language and to language. You can change this and you can do this. Now, a lot of other things can be done with the help of regular expressions. And there is a very, again, powerful library as RE, which is used. So str.replace RE, this one, this library, regular expressions library, RE. This is a very important library and which has lots of things, ignoring the replacements or you want to search for a particular word in the phrase, or you want to search same type of words. So all that can be done with the help of regular expressions library. So there are various things that you can perform with NLP, and these are the standard functions which you have to use anytime whenever you are trying to. Well, these are all part of pre-processing. I've already told you the 6-7 steps of machine learning, in which you do the pre-processing, you do the building the model, training the model, and evaluation of the model, and so on. So in the case of pre-processing, you do all this: removal of the stop words, then removal of tokenization, sentence tokenization, word tokenization, and removal of the stop words. And you use RE to find out some particular words which you actually want to have, candidate words. So all this is a part of pre-processing, and you have to do it before you go on to some other particular application. So I hope you people have understood the things and it was easy to understand. You can do it. Just let me know if you have any doubts or questions regarding this. I have stopped sharing, Anubhav sir. And I was not speaking for some 2 or 3 minutes earlier, so maybe that can be the reason that you were saying. I have stopped sharing. I am just asking if you have any questions or doubts. I'm sharing the link for the quiz again so that you can try it out, as you have to do it compulsorily. Any doubts, any questions? No? Can you please, all of you, just switch on the video for some time so that I can take a pic of all the people here? My records. Thank you. Anubhav sir.
Pooja ma'am,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
actually I'm using Anaconda for that Python programming, and I'm not able to install that translator library package.
Yes, sir.
Even
Actually, there are
even
3 types of libraries. There is translation library, translator library, and a translator with a
okay,
capital T.
okay. So which one we have to use?
It depends, sir. Actually, depending upon which platform you are using, you have to choose accordingly a different translator library for it.
Okay, okay, okay,
You have to try it out. Yes.
okay, okay, madam.
And there is another one as translation. So any one of these libraries would be used for translation. Okay, so I'm taking a screenshot. Can anyone else also just switch on their videos? Thank you. I hope the workshop was useful and you got some things out of this workshop and some learnings out of this workshop, and specifically for those people who are looking for a research field to work upon. I hope you have got some ideas on which you can go for.
Definitely, Dr. Pooja ma'am, I'm very thankful that you included everything. Sometime you did not limit it that this is only that the title was the machine learning and the application, but you included everything in that. We gone through machine learning. We also touched deep learning. GPU, RNN, and LSTM are most popular algorithm of the deep learning.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
that you more focus today's and previously Dr. Jitendra's session was very good. Okay, he have lot of things to discuss, but the time was the constraint. For example, you have just discussed a small thing just now, but Dr. Jitendra have a lot of things to discuss. So
Yes,
being a workshop, it should be means we can say package was big, but time was less as per Dr.
exactly.
Jitendra content. So that's why I was thinking if we will get something from Dr. Jitin, so we can do, and other participants also make the practice whatever he did. So they can do some exercise with the codes.
True.
So that's what I was asking. Maybe hopefully we will get.
Yes, yes. I have already asked him about the different the notebooks that he had shared, and I will share it with you. And probably I think you missed Dr. Meenakshi Arya's session. She also talked
I
about
think so.
the
I think so.
hands-on.
Actually, it is very difficult to manage. I was
Yes,
trying
with the
maximum
work
time
and on the
to
weekdays, it is
maximum
impossible.
time I was thinking to join, but I think so. Sometimes some meetings and some things is going on. So
Because
I think
if I'll say that then all the experts have talked about hands-on, and most of them have also shared the notebook. Dr. Meenakshi Arya shared the complete notebook with us, and Dr. Tausif Diwan also shared the notebook, and he also talked about the hands-on. So most of the people, because I had requested all the experts to take hands-on and discuss the notebooks and their research actually, which whatever they have done. Dr. Santosh Viparthi also did the same. Whatever research he has done in the field of machine learning and deep learning, he was talking about that only. Dr. Emmanuel Pilli also did the same. So I specifically requested all the experts to discuss the hands-on specifically. So whatever the problems they faced at the time of doing their hands-on, the same should be discussed with us. So that we don't face the same problem.
thank you, Pooja ma'am, and I hope that being because we have started, so we will be in touch. My area, I also started some research work in NLP and that sentimental analysis and some deep learning LSTM. That's why I was very much interested. So hope so I will get something from you in future also whenever it
Sure,
is
sure, sure.
required.
The workshops are only for having good collaborations. So all those, in fact, I had 146 participants in this workshop, but generally only there were 40 or 50. So I
Yes.
assume that we would have a very good closed group of 40, 50 people who are working in the same field, and all of us would be doing some things in the future together.
And after a long time, it is very nice workshop.
Thank you so much. That was a big compliment for me. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. So over to the next session at 11:15 by Dr. Basant Agrawal, and both the sessions, Dr. Basant and Dr. Santosh, would be on related to NLP. So thank you so much for switching on your videos, and we would meet again. I'll be there for the introduction, but we'll actually meet at 2:45 once Dr. Santosh's session is over. I'll have a small feedback session at that time again, and then we may close the workshop. So I am stopping the video now. Thank you. Thank you.